Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Sober, more lean, more perfect. Hello again. I just wrapped up Sober October. Let's talk about how it went. So yeah, I've already mentioned why I wanted to do Sober October like a few videos ago, but the only reason I wanted to do is see how it would go for a second time. I've done it 2 years ago. It went super well. I think I lost about 11 pounds back then, but like I was in a different mind state and it was like really hard. And in this one, I just want to go over the challenges, what was easier, what was harder, and then share you some tips of how I tackled it. Why am I still wearing these sunglasses? All right, so let's just jump into it and I'll share you some of the hardships of doing Sober October 2024. There's also a new president in the US. Fuck. So going into it for a second time, I think I was pretty much ready for it. Like the first time was really hard because I didn't really prepare myself. I kind of just told my friend Jesse, all right, let's do it. And we kind of like raw dogged it, like no plan. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cut out alcohol, weed. I'm just gonna not eat any carbs at all. But I didn't expect it to be that hard the first time. And the second time, it was kind of easier because already first I stopped smoking weed. Alcohol was not something that I would like, either from drinking in social events, restaurants for dinner. And sometimes I would just drink it sometimes alone at home, not in the sad way, but just like as I have something to drink. I was craving an IPA. Let's crack open a beer and that's it. But knowing all of that information that I've already done it before, I think one of the hardest part would have been the snacks. The first time I was like very strict. I had no carbs, so no rice, no bread, no chips, no fries, anything that's really good for emotional eaters like me back then. Like that was a really hard part. And again, this time was really hard. Like I like salty foods, so I like snacks that are salty, like chips. It was really hard to kind of find a good compromise. So like, how can I replace that? So one of the challenges was to not drink during dinner, for social events, on dates, whatever. It was not hard. It was actually easy because pretty much I could just drink a mocktail, have more water, and that's it. That nobody's judging you. If whatever you're holding in your hand and you're drinking, no one's being like, oh, he's not drinking alcohol. No, nobody cares. So that was pretty easy. And also on the wallet side, those drinks are a lot cheaper. So non-alcoholic beers and mocktails, they're cheaper than the regular because of the cost of alcohol. So that was like a challenge, but it was not really, it was pretty easy. Cut it out. I haven't drank since. Now we're 6 days into November. So I haven't like drank any alcohol. And I think I'm just gonna keep that rolling and see how far. Like my friend JP keeps saying, straight jet for life. But maybe, let me know what you think. Probably the biggest challenge was also the salty foods that I like. Chips, fries, anything with a potato, anything that's salty and has carbs. Like I crave that and I love it. And that was hard because I like to snack around, like eat stuff. But I did find some like supplements, or not supplements, is that the word? No, I think I found like replacements for like any salty cravings. The first snack that I tried to like satisfy that salty craving was a chicharron, like crispy pork skin. So this, you can see. So yeah, they sell smaller bags that has like smaller pieces. And I think like after like 3 bites of that, like my palate was like, oh, that's enough. It's really salty, but it kind of like did something to my brain where it's like, I can have 2 of these and I'm not craving any saltiness for the day. And it's like, it's not the best. I've done food. I did guacamole with that, like as a dip. So I used chicharron, like a crispy pork skin with a guacamole and dip that. And that was pretty good actually. But after that, like you see this pack it's pretty full, but these are like jumbo. Like it's like, I have to break it, but it's really hard now, but I should throw these out. So chicharron was one of those snacks that kind of helped me satisfy that salty craving. So another one that I discovered, not discovered, but something that I've been eating already, was like seaweed, but like not like the ones that you make sushi with or nori sheets, but like, so crispy seaweed. They sell like bags, like chips, like snacks. And I found one that's called it's called crispy seaweed. It's this brand from Kosa. So yeah, crispy seaweed. So these are delicious. They're like extra crispy. They're a bit different from this other pack, the roasted one. So I got options. I got Kosa's crispy seaweed, and I got Paldo roasted seaweed. So roasted or crispy? Crispy wins. It comes in also in a spicy flavor. Hot and spicy. Hot and spicy. Very delicious. Hot and spicy crispy seaweed. So yeah, crispy seaweed was like a game changer. Like, let's see what the nutritional fact is. So it's low in calories, 240 calories per bag, so 36 grams. 8 grams of carbs, no sugar. There's a lot of salt, 220 milligrams. But you know, I didn't eat a lot of these. It was just more coming in clutch when I had something, like when that craving came in. But yeah, crispy seaweed. So maybe I should show you how it looks like. You probably know, but like, let's see. I'll rip this open. Let's do ASMR. Oh yeah, ripping the bag. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm doing my Ryan Sullivan. So yeah, these are snack alert. So this is what it looks like. Ooh, crispy seaweed. So it's just, you know, seaweed. It's delicious. Listen. It's actually really good. The thing that I did also with that is like I would make myself like salmon, you know, canned salmon with some Kewpie mayo, a little bit of furikake, like seasoning, put that, no rice, have that, roll it. Then you have these little snacks. You have like protein from the salmon and you have like a crispiness. And then it was like, that was delicious. So yeah, so those were the snacks that I replaced like chips with, and you know, just to like satisfy my salty like craving. Another snack that I ate was also cashews. Not a lot, just a little handful. Sometimes when I was hungry, I would eat cashews. But when it comes to like dinner and like supper, lunch, whatever, I had to like remove everything. So yeah, I did Sober October, you know, not just booze and drugs. It was also for like carbs. I cut out carbs. No rice, no pasta, no fries, potatoes, anything that had carbs, I completely cut it out. So for like dinner, lunch, and supper, I would just replace like my meals or my rice with keto tortillas, and that would like kind of like did its job. It was either eating meat with veggies or like meat with salad, maybe pickles, you know, but I would just eat like the basic meat, veggies, you know, protein and veggies, that's it. But a thing that I've been using a lot is keto tortilla. They're super low in calories, very low in carb, and they don't taste the same as regular tortilla, but it does give you that texture and that, you know, that need of like having like a wrap food, and it was really good. One brand that I buy is Sonora. So you can find these keto tortillas pretty much everywhere in every grocery store. Like this one is like, it says a keto blend, very high source of fiber, 70 calories, 5 grams of protein, 14 grams of carb, and 9 grams of fiber. Like, you know, when I say like no carbs, like this does have carbs, but it was more for me to be able to be in calorie deficit. But it was like a good replacement and it made me achieve that, you know. So yeah, these are like the keto tortilla. So yeah, that would come in pretty clutch for like meals like a smash burger. You know, I would put meat on it and, you know, and fry it on the pan. Any wraps, so like tuna wraps, chicken wraps, etc. So these were super, super useful. And even you could cut them up in little pieces, throw them in the air fryer and just make yourself nachos, which I'm probably gonna do tonight. It's gonna be delicious. So yeah, so these tortillas. Oh, I forgot to mention that also for drinks, I would drink like a sugar-free drinks like a Fresca, like this. Fresca, no calories, gets me like that little like sweetness that I want, and it's really good, like the fizz that I like. But so yeah, this is a pretty good drink, you know, it's Fresca. So that was like my main replacement for like rice and like bread. I didn't eat any bread during that month. So yeah, what was different about this year's Sober October versus the first time? The first time all I did was eat rotisserie chicken for like 2 weeks, and it became disgusting after 2 weeks. I couldn't eat it. It tasted so bad. And this time I started like ramping up towards the end where I knew that rotisserie chicken would still taste good if I don't eat it that much. And it worked out. So I kind of like made all these little meals, a lot of salad. So I would eat a lot of kale salad with chicken and with a bit of Kewpie mayo in there and like, you know, salt and pepper and any like cucumbers, tomatoes. I would just make simple things. Like I bought like these pre-packaged like kale, pre-chopped. It was $2. And, you know, it was really good and really fast. I didn't have to like cook that much. It was a quick, you know, I would just make the meal, eat it, and that's it. There was no crazy preparation. I also kind of like, I didn't really go out. And if I went out, it would be like, we're only eating veggies and I can't eat pizza. I can't eat anything. So I would tell my friends like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be difficult this month. You could order what you want. I'll be eating just veggies and meat, and that's it. And you know, it works out. Pretty much for food, it was really pretty easy. So yeah, I did discover a replacement for fries. Celery root, they make fries out of that. And there's a place in the city that's called a Shack Attack, and they make keto poutine. So they make fries with celery root, and it's like the one that I ordered had like steak in it, and it was pretty good. But I do feel like it was still heavy, but it was keto, and it was like 9 grams of protein in there, and it gave me that, you know, wanting fast food. So I found like an alternative to the poutine. So that was good. Another thing that I noticed that, not Domino's, Pizza does, they do like keto crust. So I think the crust is made like out of like different flours, and it was like really light. When you eat it, you don't get that bloated sensation, and it was, you know, it did its job. So one night I remember I ordered pizza, and I thought that I clicked the keto button for the crust, and I totally forgot it came in a regular pizza crust. And I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I have pizza, I have crust, it looks so tempting. So I just scraped all the toppings, put that in a plate, and just ate the toppings, just cheese, meat, and veggies. It was like a veggie pizza. And I gave that to my brother, like the crust with no sauce or anything. And then I think he just went and like made new pizzas out of these, you know, leftover crust. But that was the extremest thing I've ever done as far as it goes. I was dedicated. It was like day 25, I think. And I was just like, you know what? I can't break. I gotta do this fully. You know, I gotta do this. And so far it's been really good. So yeah, so that was all the food stuff, like the food related stuff that I did to, you know, to go through the whole month of October with no booze, you know, no carbs, and that worked out really well. Okay, so food apart, the thing that I did also for Sober October is work out. I worked out Monday to Friday every morning. Go to the gym, I do about 2 hours. I start the day. 10-minute cardio, some stretching, and some weights. My weights would differ from, one day would be just legs, then upper body. So I would end the session with, you know, a bit of punching bag, you know, just do a little bit of Muay Thai because I started picking that up again since my injury. And mainly end it all with a great session of rope skipping for like 30 minutes, and just do that every day, 5 days a week. And then I would also enjoy like the rest days. Like I would make sure that Saturday and Sunday was fully rest days, so that my body would just, you know, would just heal and just like recuperate, and I would start it all over again. But having that strict regimen of like making sure that I work out every morning while doing this kind of like helped me make things a lot easier, because I would just finish that workout, and then I would just do the sauna, and then I would go eat. So like I would just refuel, and that's it. I would never eat breakfast. I don't like working out with a full stomach, so I don't do breakfast. Then I would just go eat lunch and then have supper later. One thing that I noticed that was strange was sometimes I would just like have a really big meal at lunch, and that meal made me like feel like so full that at night I was like, I don't need to eat anymore. I already have enough energy, and I don't need to like overeat. And I think that kind of like, I don't know, my body just became a bit more sufficient on its own. I didn't crave food as much. Like the craving for like snacks and stuff kind of went away halfway through the challenge. Like I do know that I need to eat all the time and have my protein intake, but for some reason, you know, I think somebody said that, I think it was GSP in an interview, said like, sometimes I just eat one meal a day, and then if I'm not hungry, I just don't eat it. And then the next day I started all over again. And then it was weird, because it's like, I didn't feel like I wanted to eat, but I did have a lot more energy, which is really good, a positive. So yeah, any positive changes or some things that I realized from this second try of Sober October? I'm not sure. Like I know that the food, I'm way better at it. I can eat that, I can do it. The alcohol, it became something that, actually alcohol is maybe something that I learned that I don't really need to drink any alcohol. I could just drink water, I could just drink sodas or whatever, like coffee, whatever. Just drinks, alcohol in a public environment or like social events or dinner, I could totally replace that with just non-alcoholic beverages and I'll be fine. And I haven't drank since, so I'm trying to do it. So that was a good one. Another thing, well, yeah, the exercise, you know, constant exercise, you know, maintaining discipline and doing all that. You know, I did lose a lot of weight this month. Not as much as last time, but I did lose 8 pounds. Like I went from like 207.9 pounds, and I was like 200 on the dot on November 1st, which is really good. That means I lost about 2 pounds every week. So that's, that's good. So it's like a mix of doing a lot of cardio work, the workout, and having a diet that has no carbs. I think that's what gave it that high amount of like losing weight. And I did it not like in a non-healthy way. I was just like trying something, and then it came out really well. So now I'm like 8 pounds lighter, so really good. Another thing that was maybe a benefit or like a realization was probably like I was a lot more focused, my mind was clearer, and I didn't have a lot of processed foods in my body. So that was like, it kind of probably helped me be more sharp, I guess. And and sometimes you eat a big meal that is like full of processed foods, and it's like bad food, like fast food, and you feel like a sloth. You're like, oh, I feel so full. Oh yeah, I won't lie, like eating foods that eating like whole foods, like like just meat and veggies and that's it, no carbs, like my shits were like, they were clean, yo. It was like you didn't have like those, sometimes you eat like Domino's and you're the next day you're just like, oh, this is a painful one, it's coming, it's gonna be painful tonight or the next day. I didn't have none of that. It was like I just do my shit and then that's it. It was clean, out, boom, out, bam. I don't know, so that is something that I realized, like eating more clean makes you shit clean. So yeah, so those were some key benefits or things that I realized that was like a little different or better for me. How did I tackle it mentally? So mentally, I got in a pretty good place, I think. I did do like I used to do last time. The first time I played like a playlist, it's called like a motivational speaking playlist. It's these guys, they're just screaming, it's like, you could do it, take grasp of your future, you could just keep doing it. So I would listen to that in the morning and kind of like, it's very like alpha male, like, but it's like for some reason, some crazy reason, I've shared it with friends, they're like, yo John, you're a bit crazy. But I'm like, hey, it helped me. So that in the morning, just like listening to that self-motivation and just keep doing that, kind of helped me set my morning. So morning is like hard training. I get that out of the way. And that kind of like also motivated me to be like, look, it's like day one of sober October. I can do this. I can like keep going. And then every day was always like a reminder. I keep reminding myself, you could do this. Don't slack, don't break, just keep doing it. You have 31 days to go through it. And it helped, it helped. Like I'm at day 6 and I'm like, I even lost 1 pound this week and now I'm under 200. I'm a 199, bro. Oh yeah, 199 pounds lighter, champion of the world. That's so dumb. But yeah, so like making these little like, not rituals, but these little weird like things that I do, like listening to like the motivational speaking playlist in the morning, working out consistently, and then having a clean food going into my body, and then it was like more focused, more clear, more energy, happier. I feel like it did help a lot. And then I think that booze is something that I'm not gonna really do or drink anymore. So those are some plus. Last time I cut weed completely, and maybe this time no more booze. Boom, bam, bam. So yeah, so that's pretty much my recap of Sober October. Really went well. Like I said in my past videos, you gotta challenge yourself, whatever it is. If it's just learning how to code, learning how to skip rope, learning how to do things, these are just little challenges that I do myself. I'm not telling you that you should do it. I just did it because it was like, I wanna, challenge myself to see where my mind can go and where it can break and then not break. I think I'll be ready for like any situation where it's like, okay, my mind is good for this. I'm a firm believer of like resetting your mind, doing things, like changing the way you think, the way you do things, and then you just got to start by doing that yourself, because everything starts with you. And I hope that I inspire people to do it. I think some of my friends told me that that's very admirable, that's cool to do, and I'm glad that it inspired you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much my recap of Sober October. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of it? If I should do another challenge, if you're doing a challenge yourself right now. So make sure that you also like and subscribe to support the channel. I'm slowly growing it. I love doing this type of content, so that would help me a lot. And yeah, see you in the next video. Woohoo!